If you clicked on this video, it means you're a caster DPS of some sort. That may be a balanced druid, warlock, shadow priest, elemental shaman, mage, whatever you are, you're clicking here because you're a caster, I assume. Now, the reasons I make these guides is because it will take you roughly 300 or more Timewalker dungeons to complete all of the items. If you're going for the toys, all the mounts, and if you're insanely bad luck, the Infinite Time Reaver can even take more. So, I mean, it's really based on, is this saving you more time? Absolutely. If your whole group is geared like this, you could probably clear a Timewalker dungeon in 5 minutes. If you take into account how many you're going to do, you're saving yourself so many hours, and you may actually have some of this stuff in your bank. But first on our list, we're going to talk about the helmet. Now, the helmet for casters is going to be your tier 16 helmet from Siege of Orgrimmar. So if you go down here, Siege of Orgrimmar, the reason being is there's a legendary gem which you can put inside of these helmets, and these helmets give you a perfect gem slot for what you're looking for. See, as it's a red socket, you can throw in an intellect gem in there, so it's great. This is the same for the balanced druid, the shadow priest, the Ellie shaman. Everybody's getting a red socket with an intellect bonus and the meta slot, which you can put the collection. Go down to collection, legendary items. You can put the specific one being for the casters would be this one. No, excuse me, this one. 20 crit and a 30% spell haste. This can go inside of that item. So you'll be able to put it inside of the helmet, giving you the bonus of that. Definitely going to want the tier 16 helmet for that. Next, for our necklace, we are going to go to Firelands in Cataclysm. In Cataclysm, we go to Major Domo Stag Helm, and he will give you the Flow Form Choker. Now, this may not be your best secondary stats, but it does have a red socket. And red sockets are pretty much the beasts of the Timewalkers, because the gems don't get nerfed too hard, and you get the benefit of the red socket plus the socket bonus, so you're getting a ton more intellect. It's basically like increased item levels. That's the only way I could put it. So this will be the go-to necklace for your caster DPSs. Now for our shoulders, we're going to want the tier 13 from Dragon's Soul. The reason being is tier 13 will give you 2 sockets, both being red, and a bonus socket of intellect. This is the same for, of course, the mage as well, and the shaman, all of the above. You're getting 2 red sockets. Great for you. So also, to add on top of that, with the shoulders, you can actually add stuff to them. Crafting, inscription, and you can see item enhancements, shoulders. So these can give you even a higher boost to your items, giving you more beastly intellect and everything. It's just great. Now for your cape, we're going to want the legendary cape. There is no real close alternative to the legendary cape. It's what's going to push you through like a beast. So you're going to want the legendary cape meant for your class, which as a caster is Ying Breath of Yulon. So definitely go for this one. And yes, it will definitely help you out a lot. It does a huge damage proc, and these things can be used inside of Timewalkers, making them beast again. So definitely go for that cape. Now we're going to move on to the chest. So the chest, you're going to want the tier 16 again. So inside of Siege of Orgrimmar, you're going to go pick up your tier 16 chest, because it's going to give you 3 more red sockets. Sockets, as I told you, are the beasts of all the items. So definitely, you're going to want red sockets for that amazing socket bonus too. All of them have red sockets, and you get the int bonus. It's just great. So definitely go for the tier 16 chest on any caster. Now, as this guide is meant for all casters, we're going to have to talk about the other items separately. So, for the wrists, I will show you the cloth, then the leather, and then the mail. So, for our cloth, we're going to want Hagara in, Cataclysm. It's Dragon Soul. So, go down to Dragon Soul, Hagara, and she will have the wrists for you. They have a red socket, an intellect bonus again in the socket, and a haste and mastery. So those are the cloth. For leather, you're going to go to Morchok. And now the leather ones, they give a red socket, which is really what you're aiming for, is sockets, since of all the bonuses that gives you. I know Spirit doesn't really help you as a leather user, but it's still better to go for the socket, in my opinion, just because it's going to give you straight intellect, which is your spell power, of course. So, Morchok Dragon Soul is your leather pickup, and Warlord Zon'ozz is your mail wrist piece, which again gives spirit. I know it doesn't help elemental shamans anymore now, but it does have that red socket with an intellect, so definitely going to go for that. Now, another thing you're going to want for your weapon is the legendary Cataclysm Staff. This is great on any caster. It's 3 red sockets, and intellect bonus in the socket, and this proc is beastly. It's like multi-strike, but it doesn't get the damage nerfed, and it can actually proc off itself. So when you do a spell, any spell, it'll do the damage twice. If you hit 15k with a lightning bolt, you'll hit 15k with another lightning bolt. So this is a beastly staff. There's really no close substitute to this for any caster, so you're going to want to pick that up. Plus, it's pretty fun to become the dragon. I mean, that's the only benefit. No, I'm kidding. It's really good for in Timewalkers. But yes, definitely pick up the staff. It's got a sort of long chain to it, but, you know, you'll pick it up. And by the time you're ready for all the Timewalkers in beastly gear, you'll have saved so much time when you're burning through them in like 4 minutes. But for the gloves, you're going to want to go back to Cataclysm, Dragon Soul again, and pick up your tier 13 gloves. The reason being is tier 13 gloves, these are going to complete your set, giving you the tier 13 bonus as well. Even though you could get 2 sockets, missing out on the set bonuses of tier 13, it's kind of not worth that additional socket, because an overall 3% damage boost like this one gives you that. This one gives you more mastery, so that's a really good bonus for shamans, of course. And the Time Lord version gives you a more crit, I believe, right? No, increases your haste, but still really good for any of the mages, really. And then, of course, the druid was the 3%. But overall, you're going to want that bonus. So you're going to go back and get that set bonus. Now, for the leggings. Now, the cloth leggings can be found on Mist of Pandaria, Throne of Thunder, Shen, and, of course, here they are. These cloth leggings will give you 3 red sockets and an intellect socket bonus. Very great. And on top of this, you can even get a tailor to make you a little enhancement and throw it on those pants, making them even more powerful. So you're going to want to do that, give you like extra intellect on top of the amazing intellect it's already going to give. Now for the, for the leather caster, you're going to want to go with a tier 13 legging, which comes from Cataclysm again, and Dragon Soul, tier 13. You're going to get your tier 13 leggings. This being said, they have 3 red sockets, so of course you can benefit from that. And then, of course, you can put the leg enhancement on them as well, buffing them up even more. For the male leggings, back to Mist of Pandaria, back to Shen, once again, going right back and forth, aren't we? But Shen, he will give you the male leggings right here, giving you 3 red sockets once again, intellect bonus in the gem socket. Really great, and of course you can put the item on it. So those are your leggings. I know they're all kind of different. The 2 come off here, and then the 1 is the tier 13. But yes, those are the legs. Now for the feet, all of the feet can be collected in Dragon Soul. So let's go there. Into Dragon Soul. The feet for cloth casters is off of War Master Blackhorn called Jangle Spurge Boots. They give you 2 red sockets, a socket intellect bonus, and of course crit and haste. But the leather ones are off all Traxian. They give you 2 red sockets. I know it's Spirit again, unfortunately, because back then Spirit was actually useful to the DPS, but now it no longer is. Yet those items still contain it, unfortunately. So you're going to want to go with those anyways for the 2 red sockets plus the socket intellect bonus, and the same for the Shaman ones, unfortunately. They're off Yorsage, and it gives 2 red sockets, intellect bonus, but it has Spirit once again, unfortunately. Can't get around that, but those red sockets are so beastly that you're just going to go with that. As for the rings, you should have one of them as your legendary ring. So, I mean, I'm sure all of you know what the legendary rings are at this point, but we'll bring them up anyway. And the caster one, which one? There it is. The caster one, you're going to want to have that. Of course, the legendary ring's a beast. You want one of those. But the other one I would suggest is in Dragon Soul. Again, off of Hagara. And here it is. Red socket bonus, haste and mastery, and a 2 intellect socket bonus. So really good right there for your other ring. As for the trinkets, now the trinket I recommend for all the casters is off. One is in Dragon Soul, off of Spine of Deathwing, and it's right here. It's a flat intellect bonus. It'll stack up. Now, of course, the stack won't be as much in lower level dungeons, but it's still going to be a flat intellect, and intellect is great. So it's a very stable, flat increase to your int. Really good. And the second one I always suggest is the Dark Moonfair trinkets from WoD, actually. They're not that bad. They give really, decent kind of buffs. So this is the intellect one. It's going to give you just a flat int bonus with a chance on hit to increase your crit. So, I mean, it's okay. Really, the trinket, if you've gotten this far, you're already wearing a ton of beastly gear. I mean, if you're an alchemist, I would suggest going with the alchemy trinkets because they're really nice. They're, let me pull it up here. See, as you see, it's got sockets as well as flat int bonus, a red socket. Really good. The Mist and Pandaria version, not so good. Warlord's version, not really that great either. But the Cataclysm one is a flat int bonus with haste and a red socket. So if you're an alchemist, go ahead and go with that too, in my opinion. But that's it. I hope this helps you. If it did, please give it a like, a share, and please subscribe if you're not. And as I said, this took me forever to put these together, so I hope you appreciate it. These aren't the absolute best gear that you can have for specific ones. Just so you're aware, if you're going to be that guy that comments, I'm just putting this in here before you even say it. Yes, I know that. These are the best gear for overall utility. If you want to go out of your way to farm 3 different sets to have the absolute best gear for one for the Lich King version, one for the BC, and one for the Cataclysm, by all means, farm those 3 sets. I know this is not the Theorycraft 100% best set. This is the overall one. You will be beastly enough with this gear. I assure you that it's not important to get that 2 or 3% DPS increase from going for the best bonus sets for each tier. So if you're that guy, I know that. You don't have to tell me in the comment. I know already. But I hope this helps somebody. Sorry these videos are so long. I just want to make sure you know where every item is and what you're going to go for. So, yeah. Thanks again for watching. And if you want to check out the other ones, there's the links to them right here. And, yeah, have a good day.